Good day, students. I hope you can hear and see me well. Today we're going to talk about another lecture that we have covered previously. Basically, we're going to talk about infrastructure of restaurants and hotel businesses. And particularly, we're going to cover the lecture of the week 6, which was about role of atmospherics and servicescape in the hospitality industry infrastructure. These are the terms that are widely spread in the field of services, especially in the field of restaurants and hotels, where space like dining area, lobby, and guest rooms are very important. Regarding the lecture outline, we're going to skip the overview due to the time limitations and go directly to the lecture itself. And at the end of the lecture, we're going to have an assignment. So let's start the lecture. But before we start, I want to give you a quote of a very famous politician, Winston Churchill, who said that we shape our buildings and afterwards our buildings shape us. This is, I think, very true for this topic, and this is very important for our working life and for the business, because dining area design will shape how the people will act inside. For example, the staff area, like kitchen and the back office, is very important because it's going to shape the way our employees will act. But before we talk about atmospherics, we should talk about the term atmosphere, which is the term borrowed from architecture, and atmosphere means the design space to make feel people in a certain way. A good example is cathedral or mosque, where we feel like a spiritual presence inside. And what is atmospherics? Atmospherics is the effort to design buying environment. Buying environment is very important because this is the space where we buy to produce specific emotional effects in the buyer that enhance purchase probability. So when we apply atmospherics to like restaurants and hotels, we talk about the dining area, which is basically the buying environment. And we want to set a specific emotional effect. So the guests will want to stay longer and will want to purchase more things. That is why atmospherics is very important to do. The concept of atmospherics developed in 1973, and the author of this term was Philip Kotler. So Kotler mentioned that like tangible product is only a small part of total consumption package. And when we talk about package, we talk about product that should have like extended like things and value, which would include several additional services. Atmospherics cover 3 major art forms that are important to retail. This is like exterior structure, interior design, and the windows of like display of goods. As we know, exterior is very important to attract guests passing by. In the case of restaurant, interior design is very important to keep the guest inside, and like window display, including menu and etc., is important to like sell more goods. So we have one thing to attract guests, the other thing we have to keep guests, and then we want to sell goods. That are the 3 very important like art forms of retail. And when we talk about atmospherics, we talk about like sensory channels. As we know, a human being has 5 sensory channels, but in the case of atmospherics, we use only 4 of them. Basically, the taste is not included, but sight, like visual, setters of atmosphere are very important. They are like color, lighting, proximity, a number of visual elements. Oral, like sound, sensory channel is important because It is about music, type, sound level, etc. Then we have touch, tactile, which is about cleanness and fabric. Also, it's going to show us the quality. And the last one is scent. We want to have odors, nice ones, and we don't want to have smells that are going to make our guests feel not good and want to leave our place. Here I want to mention that lighting is important to set the mood. So if we have bright light, people want to be professional and want to leave the place. When we have milder light, the people want to feel like, and they're going to feel like intimacy and they want to stay there longer. The type of music, the rhythm can make the person act faster or act slower. These things are important to plan and think in advance. When we talk about atmospheric elements, we talk about different things that are important in design, like style, layout, color, lighting, furnishing, and etc. When we talk about variables, yeah, we have many variables that can be used when like designing the atmosphere inside buying environment. So it's going to have exterior, general interior, store layout, displays, human factor, etc. So as you can see here, we have different elements that can be used like parking, surrounding area, entrance, building architecture, window display, storefront, and etc. These are the variables of exterior and the others. And we're not going to spend time to discuss all of them. You can pause the video and read these variables yourself. The other term is the concept we need to cover today is the servicescape. The servicescape is from the service provider's point of view, yeah, is the physical environment, and reason lies are two essential elements that determine the level of customer satisfaction and ultimately enhance customer loyalty. So basically, servicescape is about physical environment, yeah, where we provide service. So when we mention atmospherics, we mentioned that it is about setting a right feeling. And when we talk about servicescape, it is about setting a right physical environment. And as written here, physical environment is as important as the reasonable price. So basically, these two things are very important, like environment and price. These are the two things that are very important in the case of services, because in services we provide service at the same time as the consumption takes place. So it is inseparable from service provider. So again, servicescape is described as the physical surrounding or the physical facility where the service is produced, delivered, and consumed. Servicescape is the science that locates between marketing and psychology. So this kind of like science and topic which like overlap is located in overlapping area of marketing and psychology. So we have several aspects of servicescape. We have spatial layout and functionality. We have signs, symbols, and artifacts, and we have ambient conditions that are kind of additional ones. So spatial layout is about making sure that the furniture, the size is kind of designed in the right shape, so people can move, people can do their job. The functionality is very important. Yeah, so it's about working and making sure that its function is done in a proper way. So, for example, a dining area should be functional for dining purposes. Yeah, and even though we'll kind of use the space and kind of try to make sure that this space is comfortable. Yeah, but also we should make sure that this space kind of works for the purpose. Signs, symbols, and artifacts. Signs, symbols, and artifacts are about making sure that the guest and the employees are going to like manage there in an intuitive way. So, for example, the guest will not walk around and try to find a toilet. So the space should be designed that way. So they're going to navigate there like intentionally using the intuition. Artifacts are like beautiful paintings and the other things that are like part of the design. And the ambient conditions are those like conditions that are not seen. They are somewhere in the background, like music, sound, lighting, and etc. So here we have some elements of servicescape. I'm not going to waste time on them. You can stop the video and read them yourself. So the roles of servicescape are facilitator, socializer, package, and differentiator. So when we talk about facilitators, they like act as a facilitator to help people in their surrounding, like the well-designed servicescape like creates a pleasurable ambience that relates to peace and harmony. When we talk about socializer, like the space is designed that way, so people are going to want to socialize, yeah, and interact, for example, between each other and between customer and employee. Also, the servicescape is part of package. We know that when we sell a product, we have like core product and we have like the product that surrounds it, like layers, levels, and basically servicescape is part of the package. So you can have great food, but your computer can have a great food too. So in order to differentiate, you're going to have a better like surrounding, and also yeah, it is a differentiator. Yeah, as I've mentioned, it is something that helps you to differentiate your place from your customer, your competitor. So basically, you're going to have a very different servicescape, maybe a better designed. Now I want to give you a few examples of the atmospherics and servicescape. Yeah, so we're going to cover and discuss them, like 3 of ones. So here we have the list of common like types of eateries. Yeah, and particularly I would like to talk about fine dining, casual dining, and fast casual restaurants. Here we have a fine dining restaurant, an example of its layout. As you can see, the lighting is mild. Yeah, we have a very beautiful space, yeah, dining area that is laid out. We can see that they are quite close to each other, so they're going to help to socialize. And we have some candles on the table, yeah, and these are the things that are designed to kind of set the feeling of intimacy. Also, I'd like you to focus on the chairs and the sofas. Yeah, they are quite comfortable. Yeah, they are soft. Yeah, that is why people would like to stay there longer. When we talk about fast casual, yeah, you can see that they have many lighting. Of course, it is day. We have daylight, and that is why we can say and can say even if it has like mild or bright lighting, but I can assure you that most probably it has a mild lighting. Of course, not as in the fine dining. It's going to be a bit brighter than that, but in the other way, it is going to be quite pleasant to stay in there. What I would like you to kind of mention is the chairs. Yeah, as you can see, they are plastic. Yeah, and maybe wooden. Here I can see one. Yeah, here the other one. So they are most probably kind of comfortable, but not as comfortable as these ones. Yeah, that is why people would not like to spend too much time in there. And the last one, the fast casual restaurant. Yeah, as you can see from here, it has space, so you can walk. Yeah, here in the casual dining and in the fine dining, you can see that we don't have too much space. Yeah, it kind of gives us an idea that people do not move too fast, so they come and they dine longer. Yeah, here you can see that, of course, the space is a bit more than in fine dining, but still uh, all the tables are set close to each other. But when it comes to fast casual, we can see that we have huge spaces. And the reason is that in fast casual, usually guests do not spend a lot of time, and they come and go. That is why we need to have more space to kind of clean, and we need to have more space for the coming and going guests, so they're not going to collide somewhere. Also, as you can see, the chairs, yeah, they are not comfortable, so people are not going to spend a lot of time there. So basically that is it. And now I want to give you your assignment. So we have 3 questions. The first one is to choose a service organization, find or take pictures of its service gate, at least interior and exterior. Then I want you to describe the chosen service gate. Try to use all your sensory channels if possible. So you're going to describe that. And the last one is to rate the chosen service gate and write recommendations, basically your opinion. Thank you for listening to this lecture. It was my pleasure. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.